Make Jamaica crisp and clean is the slogan for this year's Labor Day activities, and we encourage you all to join the national campaign to clean up our communities.
And don't make this any ordinary cleanup like we have done in the past. This must be a special. Clean the corners, the crevice, the nook and the crannies. Get rid of the garbage. Protect your environment.
Hello there. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. We have an informative show lined up just for you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
What a way you're full of our roots and culture. That was in Jamaica 60. Jamaica 60? What a piece of news, Miss Matty. I feel like my heart going bust up.
Just in, the island of Jamaica is on the verge of celebrating its 60th year of independence.
I will we have to celebrate it. They say the people them come here, you know. But you see, when our people decide, say the other people them free paper, them say if it's war, start it, whatever. We all collect medal, panta,
The celebrations are slated to begin on January 1st, 2022. Organized by the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. We have more in this report.
I am on site and planning activities are ablaze. Persons are advised to download the Reggae Jamaica app to know what it activities for the Jamaica 60 celebration.
I download the app to get the updates then.
On Get the Facts this week, we have all the information you need to know about the upcoming World Free Zone Organization's annual international conference and exhibition, ACE 2022. It's being hosted at the Montego Bay Convention Center in St. James from June 13 to 17.
Welcome to Get the Facts. This is the program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. Today we'll be talking about Jamaica's hosting of the 8th World Free Zone Organization, World FZO for short, annual international conference and exhibition. It will be held at the Montego Bay Conference Center in June. And here to talk with us about this organization and how Jamaican businesses can engage and benefit from the conference and exhibition is Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Aubin Hill, as well as the Deputy Co-Chair of the Local Organizing Committee, Mrs. Sanvia Martin Bailey. Minister Hill, Mrs. Martin Bailey, welcome to Get the Facts.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Theodore.
Let us jump right into the questions. Minister Hill, I'm going to start with you.
Sure.
Before we go any further, can you give us a synopsis of what is the World Free Zone Organization?
The World Free Zone Organization, Theodore, is comprised of about 150 countries. I say about because they're always building onto it. And there are probably about, many people don't know this, about 3,500 free zones around the world.
Ah.
The mothership, of course, is Dubai. It's headquartered in Dubai.
Right.
And we are very privileged to be in the position to be hosting this conference from June 13th to 17th this year.
I'm going to ask you a bit more about the hosting, or rather, I'm going to ask Lady Martin
That's the lady.
Bailey about that. But what are the objectives of the World Free Zone Organization?
The objective is, as I said, there are 3,500 of them around the world. Started off in a big way in Dubai.
Right.
Dubai is a desert country. Lived in the Middle East for 21 years.
Yes.
So I know the place. You couldn't believe that you'd have what you have in Dubai.
True.
When they started 25, 30 years ago, when Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid started. The whole idea is that you have an ecosystem, that you get your approvals quickly, you have, you know what your tax arrangements are, or lack of them.
Right.
You know what the resources are available in the area where you get people, where you get ships, where you get airplanes to carry your goods in and out.
Right.
And so that ecosystem comes to form a World Free Zone, and Jamaica has been doing this. You've heard about our BPO.
Yes,
we have
yes.
75 businesses in there. Many of them, all of them practically, have been registered by Sanvia and her friends and colleagues at the Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority. But all those are part of the Free Zone organization, but we're looking, this conference, you talk about it more, I'm sure, we're looking to take it to a much higher and better level and better economic level for Jamaica.
All right, so let's talk about the conference a bit now that we've gotten an idea of what the Free Zone organization is about. How did Jamaica become the host for the 8th staging?
Okay, Jamaica became a member of the World Free Zone Organization in 2018.
Right.
In 2019, as one of their newest members, they asked us if we would want to bid to host this conference.
All right.
We would have had basically a new SEZ regime, and it would have given us an opportunity to showcase what it is that we have here in Jamaica.
Ah, so we said that we would be willing to do so. We got the bid, and here we are.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, Minister Hill, I'm back to you. Now, this is a gathering of, you mentioned the countries, you mentioned the free zones. This is a lot of people.
Listen to me, we have people coming from Swaziland.
Yes.
We have people coming from Nigeria. We have people coming from Dubai, Morocco.
What sort of people?
All these are free zone operators. These are not, we're not talking about tourists. They're going to be tourists as well.
Right,
because they're coming to Jamaica.
Right.
But they are free zone operators, investors, people of influence and means, which is really, after not having a big conference here after the pandemic, the World Free Zone Organization is now extremely happy that when we bid in Barcelona, we won, because they have a destination that people want to come to. After the pandemic. We're in a destination that is open, and we have a country we want to show, and a special economic zone authority with business opportunities and investment opportunities that we want to show. So it's a symmetry and a synergy that is fantastic for both the World Free Zone Organization and the Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority.
Wow, wow. Open to do business and also vacation as well.
Yes.
We are going to talk a bit more about those business opportunities, but the conference is being hosted at the Montego Bay Conference Center, I understand, under the theme Zones, Your Partners for Resilience, Sustainability and Prosperity. How does this theme fit into Jamaica's business and economic development pursuits, Minister?
You know, you must have been listening, and this gives me a good chance to draw and make an analogy. We see Sri Lanka, one of our Commonwealth countries, going through a very difficult time.
Yes.
And I'm going to use that to say how well Minister Ed Bartlett and his team at Tourism Ministry have done. Sri Lanka depends, their economy depends on two main things. The export of tea, right, which of course during the pandemic you can't get shipped, you can't get containers, so that slowed down. Then the pandemic cut out tourism.
Right, right.
They went to practically zero. We, on the other hand, there was a dip, but Minister Ed found all kinds of innovative ways.
So
we create a resilient center, a resilient corridor. We made sure people in the hotel industry were vaccinated way above the national average, and so on and so forth. And so we have been able to do that. The World Free Zone Organization and those activities will help us as we get out, because remember now, sugar is gone, banana is gone,
yes,
bauxite is here, but it's an extractive industry.
Right.
We need to have other economic activities to make sure Jamaica continues to grow and grow well. And so near shore to the biggest market, the strongest military power, we're properly situated in Jamaica.
All right, you've given us a very interesting picture of our positioning, and I want to build on that. We are hosting, people are coming from all over the world, but how does Jamaica benefit? Minister, I want you to take this one and just underline it for our viewers who are watching. How does Jamaica benefit from this?
You know, Theodore, since I became a minister, I've been pushing the fact that I've been looking at all the data. I have all my researchers looking at the data of economic growth and export and how they're linked.
Right.
Well, we don't think in Jamaica that tourism is an export, but it is. We sell them hotel rooms, we sell them food, we sell them music, we sell them taxi transportation and other kinds of transportation,
right,
and they give us hard currency. That's an export. So we want to make sure these 1,000 or more delegates from free zones that are wealthy people, managers of free zones, understand how to do business, come here as tourists, but in the coming as tourists, they also benefit the economy along those lines that I just mentioned.
Right.
3-4 days, we're going to take them from Kingston to Trelawney, elsewhere. She will tell you all about that.
Right.
But we're going to make sure that as tourists, we get the benefit of the export product that we have created so well in Jamaica.
All right, I want to ask you one more question, Minister. So some of the richest people are coming to this conference.
Yes.
Right? And people...
Big names too.
And they are not just coming, you mentioned the tourism, but I think the idea is they're also looking to invest.
We are inviting them to invest. Yeah. And that's the point.
In Jamaica.
Right, yes. In Jamaica.
Yes.
Sandra will give you a little bit more details, but the big picture is we have 1,000 acres of land in Caymanas that we're looking to have a developer, investor, put it together. The government is going to bring the utilities to the gate, water, electricity, that kind of stuff, broadband stuff. Inside, they're going to cut it up, put it together, but they're going to get benefits from it. We're going to give them a 50-year lease. During that 50 years, whatever profits they make inside, they will not have a tax. The things that they're bringing to build out, we won't have any duties on it. Anything they take out of there, they can't sell in Jamaica, but anything they take out, no duties on it. Dividends that they make from developing the place and from managing it well, no taxes on it. So it's a great incentive. Well, why are we doing that? Because the more they develop, the more businesses they get inside there, the more Jamaicans get employed. The BPO sector, when we started this some years ago, was a little bit. We were supposed to be a few thousand, 2015, 2016. Well, by 2019, we were 43,000.
Yes.
It dipped a little bit in 2020, well, right through the pandemic. It's the fastest growing sector in Jamaica. We're now 52,000 Jamaicans working in there. Theodore, I met Jamaicans that are working there for 5, 7, 10 years. They start with keyboarding things. They're now managers. They get their bachelors, they get their masters, and it's a real serious career.
You know, we're going to go to our break very shortly, but Lady Martin Bailey, I want to bring you back in because the minister has spoken about the general investments, and I want to know if there are any particular investment opportunities that we'll be showcasing during the conference.
And she has.
Yes, Theodore, thank you so much. So there are a number of projects that we have, proposed projects, that are all based on the SEZ regime, and they're projects that are related to various clusters. So one of them, Minister mentioned earlier, the Caymanas Special Economic Zone. That's one project that will be showcased. We'll showcase it early in the week. Then there are other projects along the way. There are a couple of them in Trelawney. Xanadu, there's one called Pandora, which is a pharmaceutical cluster. There is Olympus, all wrapped around, or very famous athlete Usain Bolt and Veronica Campbell, who are from the Trelawney area. And there's one also called,
we'll come back to that one.
Yes, we'll come back to that one. And then in the Montego Bay area, we also have the existing free zone space, or special economic zone space, all in the Freeport area of Montego Bay. There are a number of clusters. They're all wrapped into the BPO and outsourcing sector. However, there are opportunities in those spaces where people can either seek to have space built out within these SEZs.
She covered all three of them here. Pandora is pharma.
Right.
Xanadu is the one about the media and creative industries, and then of course we have
West 77. That's the
West
one
77, which is
that's the one I forgot.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to continue this conversation right after the break because we want to hear more about the growth prospects and the business linkage opportunities through this event. So we're going to take a quick break and come right back. Our guests will remain with us, so we expect you as well to remain with us after this important message. Welcome back to Get the Facts. We're talking about the upcoming World Free Zone Organization's annual international conference and exhibitions to be held at the Montego Bay Conference Center in June. Our guests in studio are still the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Aubin Hill, as well as the Deputy Co-Chair of the Local Organizing Committee, Mrs. Sanvia Martin Bailey. We're going to jump right back into our questions. Minister, I want to start with you. Sir. What are the expectations after the conference?
Well, as we said, we're expecting investors and managers to come to Jamaica. The expectation is clear that we want to build our free zone, and we want people who are in the area or especially farther afield to say, look, I want to be near the biggest market in the world.
Right.
And Jamaica is a place I don't have to worry with all the laws and rules over in that big economy. Come to small Jamaica. We have English law. We have easy currency, no currency restrictions. 1.5 million people in the Kingston area, Kingston, Portmore, St. Catherine area.
Right.
Many of them young and trainable. So we want people to see that, what we expect afterwards. And you don't get people just open their wallet because they come once.
Right.
You have to follow up and follow up
keep
and
coming.
then and keep coming, and then one day they invest. So it's a process. But we start the process with a really good conference and good showpiece, and then we get them back to invest.
The game plan has been laid bare. All right, Lady Martin Bailey, I'm going to come to you now about the conferences program.
Yes.
Now, you've mentioned some things that will happen already. We've talked about the investments, but what about our trademark fun side, Brand Jamaica?
Okay, there's a lot of that infused in the program, Theodore. This year, Jamaica celebrates its 60th anniversary, and so we're working with the Ministry of Culture to have it culture all infused through the program. So we'll start the Monday afternoon with a welcome reception, and that's one of the nightly events. There are two other nightly events. The second night is a gala event, or soiree as we've been calling it, and there are a number of Jamaican acts who will be there, whether it be steel bands, whether it's dancing and showing all the different rhythms of our country.
Nice.
And on the final night, or the final social event, will be a beach party, a Let Your Hair Down party for our attendees, and this will be on the Wednesday night.
So it's a bring your wallet.
Yes.
It's a see Jamaica.
Yes.
It's a look for the opportunities and play a little bit.
Absolutely. Have fun.
All right. We are just about out of time. Minister, I'm going to ask you, there are many local business people who are watching this program right now. Perhaps some of the investors are even watching. The next minute or so, just make a final statement, a final appeal, an invitation, what have you. The floor is yours.
This is a chance for Jamaican businesses to step forward and say, look, we have an international board, a whiteboard that we can paint on, and what we must paint on it. Our social side will be taking care of the music and the food and so on. The business side must say, look, Jamaica is ready for business. And this ministry will be saying, we are the Ministry of Business. But we want the local businesses, the big ones especially, and small ones too, to say, look, this is our country. We want to partner with you. We're going to invest, but we also want to make sure we have markets in your area. The business people must step up, get booths in the convention center, sponsor where you must sponsor, step up to the plate, because this is unusual to have so many important, wealthy, prospective investors in Jamaica and prospective partners for you to say, look, let us join together, let us join your markets, and incidentally, Jamaica has very good products and good business practices.
All right. From Kingston to Trelawney to Montego Bay, Jamaica is open for business. It's been an enlightening discussion, and we look forward to the successful staging of the ACE 2022 and the realization of new investment and economic growth, which you are invited to be a part of. This has been Get the Facts. Our guests were Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Aubin Hill, as well as the Deputy Co-Chair of the Local Organizing Committee, Mrs. Sanvia Martin Bailey. For more information on the ACE 2022 visit, www.ace.com. And until next time, when Get the Facts brings you, as always, more important information, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
The Island Traffic Authority, working in tandem with the Road Safety Unit, is ensuring that everyone plays their part as it relates to stemming the tide of traffic crashes, injuries and deaths on our roads. Watch this next feature.
We have stepped up our road spot check operations across the country to ensure that only effective motor vehicles are on the roadway and defective vehicles are not allowed to traverse the network willy-nilly. I'd like to use this opportunity to appeal to all motorists. I have noticed some trends out there where there is different type of license plates on motor vehicles. Only the Jamaican issued driver's license plates are to be on the motor vehicles. I'm appealing to motorists out there. I'm appealing to them. We have removed many plates because of fandangles that are on the motor vehicle. Colorful lights, red light, purple light, blue light. I love purple and white, but the purple is not no purple light must on the vehicle. Blue light, yellow light, orange light, and these multicolored lights. Get them off. Your headlight must be white. That's the law. We don't want us to take them off during the road spot check operation because it will mean that you could be issued a E1 certificate, a certificate of defects, and you'll have to take funds out of your pocket to get back your plates. The tinting of your windscreen, cut it out because it affects visibility and it has a potential risk factor for traffic crashes. Public passenger vehicles, according to the Transport Authority Act, not supposed to have tints. Driving on the roadway is a very serious matter, and I would like to appeal to persons whom we have issued driver's license to. Remember that we don't want you to violate, because if you violate, you will get certain prizes that you don't want. So you'll get a prize if you accumulate a certain amount of points. You get a prize, your driver's license suspended for 6 months. If you don't listen, you don't hear, you could open up yourself for another prize. And that prize would be a license could be suspended for a year. If you don't like that prize, you could work harder again and get a bigger prize. And that prize, your license could be suspended for 2 years. We would like to appeal to persons who transport. Once you transport any passenger in a motor vehicle, ensure that they are buckled, whether they are on the front or they are on the back. The seatbelt gives people a fighting chance to survive the crash. Many people have died who never give themselves a fighting chance.
Looking at the data, we recognize certain points of interest that we, the road safety, would be looking at in seeing how we can actively engage our citizens and how we can reduce the number of injuries and fatalities that are occurring on our roads. So one of them is actually speeding. Now, most motorists and bikers who currently represent 35% and 18% of road fatalities, we're appealing to them to reduce and think about themselves and others who are using the roadway. Another road user group that we are actually targeting is pedestrians, and they represent 20% of our fatalities. And we want to appeal to them to be vigilant, to really utilize the road carefully, be alert, don't cross from corners, walk facing the traffic so you can see what we're doing, wear light color clothing at nights and reflective clothing at nights so you can be seen.
Obedience is always better than sacrifice. That's the word from Elohim.
A wise person once said, "Without history, there would be no future." So as we prepare to celebrate Labor Day 2022, we share with you how it all started.
On May 23 each year, unless it falls on a Saturday or Sunday, Jamaicans celebrate Labor Day by volunteering their time and energy towards the beautification and enhancement of communities across the island. The three main objectives of Labor Day are enhancing the dignity of labor by improving the environment, inspiring the spirit of community development and encouraging the principle of solidarity, Jamaicans working, building, and sharing together. The inception of Labor Day can be traced back to the celebration of Empire Day, a national holiday marking the birthday of the United Kingdom's Queen Victoria. In 1958, Empire Day, May 24, was renamed Commonwealth Day, in agreement with the new post-colonial relationship between Britain and the nations of the former empire. By then, Jamaica had already begun informally celebrating May 24 as Labor Day, in commemoration of the labor upheavals that took place between May 23 and June 6 of 1938. 1938 witnessed workers' struggles for better working conditions in Jamaica. It is from this movement that Jamaica's two major political parties emerged and the journey to independence began. The focus of Labor Day shifted from the tradition of gratitude to colonial masters to political independence and the importance of trade unions. Ever since 1939, Jamaica has paused on May 23 to recognize the value of work and the immense contribution of workers to the development of the country. In 1960, then Premier, the late Right Excellent Norman Washington Manley, presented a bill in Parliament to finally abolish Empire Day. On June 15th that year, a bill to amend the holiday public general law received unanimous support in the Legislative Council. May 23 was now to be known as National Labor Day. In 1972, the government of the day infused the national holiday with a new dimension, expressing to all Jamaicans the importance of labor to nation building through voluntary community work. It was the first time Jamaicans were asked to give up a part or all of their public holiday to work on a community project. The Palisadoes Road, now known as the Norman Manley Highway, was selected as the first site where the Prime Minister was seen clearing land and planting trees to beautify the area. A new mantra emerged, calling on Jamaicans to put work into Labor Day. It's a call for national unity that has held to this day.
And that's all the time we have left today on this show. Do join us again tomorrow on this same station for another exciting installment of Jamaica Magazine. To rewatch today's offering or other content like this, visit our YouTube channel or website, jis.gov.jm. We would love to hear from you. Our social media pages are available. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. From all of us here at the JIS, have yourselves a wonderful Sunday. I'm Adrian Atkinson. See you next time.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.